G'day everyone, welcome to War Thunder with the Soho. I am the Soho, and today we have the magnificent T14 heavy tank. Alright, so a couple of weeks ago it was my birthday and I decided to treat myself to this little terror of rank 2. Now it's an odd tank because it is the lowest British heavy tank which you can acquire in War Thunder. And I used to have this in World of Tanks way back when. I gotta get back into that game. I hear it's changed quite a bit. But here, T14's rank 2, battle rating 4.3 I believe, and I like it. It's fun, it's easy to drive, it's got enough armor to save your ass if you do something completely stupid. Well, not something completely stupid, nothing will save you from that, but if you overextend yourself ever so slightly, it's got enough armor to save you at the right angles. It's got the standard M4 75mm cannon from the Shermans and a 50 cal on top for anti-air or light armor defense, which I'll be using it for a bit way through this video. Alright, so then this map, it is the castle map. I'm going to point C to start off with. I'm going to capture this and I'm going to make my way around and perch myself on that corner for a minute or so, waiting for people to come around. Alright, point is now ours. Now, a little history on this tank. This tank was developed codependently. It was developed in cooperation between the Americans and the British. It was meant to be a new infantry tank. It was meant to be, I don't know if it was meant to be heavy, but it was meant to be a new infantry tank that would use as many parts as it possibly could with the M4 Sherman, so parts could be interchangeable. Now, due to this thing not being in many history books, it never became the case, as by the time this thing rolled around in 1944, the Churchill had been in development for a couple of years, and that was seen as more than adequate. This thing was ordered back in 1941, when just before the Americans entered the war, and it was only ever about 4 produced. One of them was sent to the one was sent to the British, and that currently resides in the Bovington Tank Museum. The other one stayed in the US for testing, and then it was scrapped, I believe. So I've stayed on this corner for a few moments. Usually people either come through the archways or sit up on the bridge waiting to ambush us as we come around, but since that hasn't happened at the moment, I'm going to let this Wolverine take over the job here, and I am going to go into the center and see what I can do about B. Alright, now whilst I do like this tank, it has a little bit of the mobility problems. Being an infantry tank, it doesn't like to turn if it's not moving, especially on an angle like that I was trying to get up with. I got a little bit stuck, but once it gets going, this thing has a good clip. It's got decent mobility, punchy gun for its rank, and good armor. The turret is approximately 101mm of rolled homogeneous all the way around, and the turret front is about 60 mils, same as the Sherman's. Alright, so I have seen F2 coming in, Panzer F2, and I'm going to give it a first shot, which no pen, that hits the unlucky spot right there. Any higher or lower, that would have gone through, so we'll spray the machine gun fire to throw his aim off, and then I get one straight through the front, going over the turret. Second, straight through the front, where just the same spot where the first shot went, just a little bit lower, straight through the upper front plate, taking out the rest of the crew member. Alright, going around to the center of the castle now. That's firmly in enemy territory. Now those HS, the number is staring right in front of me. I just can't enunciate it. But oh well. That German close air support is rather worrying to me, but they don't seem to. And there's a shot coming straight from the castle, so turn around. It's another Panzer IV F2, and boom, straight through the side armor there, and taking out the ammo racks above the tracks. Alright, taking a quick look around, see if there's any damage to my fellow the T-34 behind me, and upon seeing that there is none, I'm going to go, and there's that HS-23. And coming around, making sure that my flanks are clear, I come down and almost stack my tank. caught it just as I went over. It's like, oh my god, and I saved it. That's all slow turning, so I'm making my way up to the castle now, but where was I? Close air support. Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed with close air support. I get it in realistic matches, like SPAA has to have something to shoot at, and it was a real thing back in World War II, close air support, albeit it's not nearly as effective as it is in War Thunder, and I got nothing against it per se. I just don't like the spams. Like, people initially get a low points SPAA, drive to a cap it, die, and then take out a cast plane, and it's not even really worth it points wise. So I'm just confused. Oh well. So I'm carefully on the lookout for any other enemy activity coming up into the castle, because I'm pretty sure there was more than one, but before we come in, I'm just going to take out one shot at the HS-129. There we go. And I think that sailed right over his cockpit, but oh well. Quick spray with my MGs, and moving forward. Now I do like this map, it's fun, a little bit predictable at times, but if things stray a little bit from the norm, it can be fairly interesting. So, into the cap, and I'm keeping an eye on the other two entrances. We've got the castle breakdown walls on the forward flanks, as well as the actual drawbridge there. Excuse me. But for now, I'm just keeping an eye on that HS-129, making sure it comes around, and there's artillery. So I'm not actually moving out of the way of the artillery here. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put the weakest part of my tank in the hardest possible shot to that 129, in which in this case would be an attack from the castle walls. And I'm trying to get either my toughest armor, which is my front armor, or my engine bay between the likely angles of attack, which in this case are the two openings. But I capture the point, move on. Luckily it doesn't come and end my match right there. That thing's devastating. But here we go, here's a 88 truck, and I haven't noticed it. Now I have noticed, like, 88, oh god. Boom, and first shot he tracks me, spraying this guy down with machine gun fire, trying to take out the gunner. No joy. But a couple of shots from that HS-129 did get me, and I see another 88 on the side, going up for him. Luckily he misses, and I just got the barest sliver of his gun shield over there, so I take a couple of pot shots and a few machine gun sprays to ward him away, but he seemed to have disappeared for now. We'll see more of him in a moment. So just making sure there's definitely nobody else in that direction. Tracks are up, moving on. Alright, heading over to A now, it's the final cap point needed. Just making sure there's no other nasty surprises around these corners in the direction of the enemy spawn. HS-129 is coming back, but there goes a shot, surprisingly. That does not look like an American tracer. But 129 seems to be in dire straits here. Pete got an Airacobra on his tail, so once again, one more pot shot. It's like there's no harm in it. I've got a full load of ammo here. Okay, make sure there's nobody to my right. And some more machine guns. And surprisingly, I actually do hit this guy with my machine guns. I'll get an assist on him in a moment, because he will go down that Airacobra, if anything, is one nasty machine, and oh, that was close. I'm not even sure what dropped the bombs on me, and in my distraction, I went straight into the corpse of this. Is that a T60 or T70? It looks like a T70. It's definitely not the T80 turret, too small. But oh well. Okay, just checking my rear, making sure there is nothing behind me, and ding, there goes that 129, which I got one lucky bullet into. I'm not gonna shake away that 3 points, but oh well. So that up ahead, there's a Panzer IV F2. I actually don't notice him for a while until he makes one really big error here, but that won't be for a few minutes or so. So I'm just stacking up on the point, waiting for anything to get past, anything to drive past, and cap the point in the progress. So in a moment, Just checking my rear, see there's nothing sneaking up on me. Going back. And once I'm satisfied, back to watching that corner, because I know there's a couple of things down there. There's at least... There he is. And that's actually the same guy from earlier. And one shot, misses, and going in with the machine guns once again. Yeah, I tend to go a little ham with the machine guns, because I don't really play many of the American tanks. I want to, hence T14 purchase, but haven't really gotten into them as of yet. I mostly play the Germans and the British, which usually don't have extra machine guns, so I go at them. So, big mistake. Poked his backside out there, and I got the hull break. Alright, so I was loading HE just in case this guy came around, but we got a little glitch in the replay here, because now I noticed the F2. I actually reloaded the armor-piercing ballistic cap tips, and that's why I haven't shot at him yet. The replay is not showing that I basically hit the reload right as the guy my loader was closing the breach. It's like, no, get the other one. Wrong shell, Jethro. And it's like, oh well. So, and he really outed himself by doing that smoke. A better idea would have been to smoke me, and that way he'd have vision, but the way he's done it here is he's smoked himself, and to shoot me, he's had to come out of the smoke, and he'll do that again in a moment. You can see that he's popped up over there. I actually haven't noticed this yet, because he fell off the cliff in the smoke. I believe he's sitting down there, but there we go. As you can see, he's dropped the smoke, but to come forward to shoot me, he's had to come out of the smoke. And I've ended up getting him, and as you can see, the high explosive shell went straight through the front. And this 75mm high explosive doesn't have that much penetration. So, little replay glitch. Oh well, so I believe the point is secure now. I'm going to go help out the little SBAA truck that had decided to overextend himself a little bit in front of me when I originally began capturing the point. And he's found himself a few friends to play with. I know he's found the Ostwind, I could see that, but I actually didn't notice he'd got the Panzer IV-G, which is going to come around in the moment. Alright, I can see the Ostwind, verbal wind, but hey look, Panzer IV-G, I think I might take that kill and use my machine guns to finish off the verbal wind. It's like, that thing's a very nasty anti-aircraft machine, but that turret has near zero armor. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Near zero armor. And there we go, that's a 190? Yeah, that's a Focke-Wulf 190. He tried to take a few shots at me, but missed by a country mile. And now I can see that B has been captured, and C is being captured. No, C is being recaptured. It's like, all my hard work gone. But oh well, so now I'm going to head back to the base, but I'll never get there. Tickets are bleeding heavily from the enemy team. So, and we will win this match quite easily. 7 kills, 1 tanker ace for me. Thank you guys for watching. I enjoyed playing this match. I really hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Like and subscribe. Take it easy, everyone.